You're watching TVC Breakfast. It's time to take a look at the stories making headline across Nigerian newspapers this morning. And I have with me Chartered Accountant and Public Affairs Analyst, Sheson Kwade. Sheson, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Mike.
Great.
Thank God it's
Great.
Friday.
Thank God it's Friday.
Another time to have some break at
Exactly. That's nice. And I also have the President, Yewa Wori Youth Council, Abayomi Okeashewaju. It's good to see you.
Yeah,
Abayomi.
good morning,
It's quite a
Mike.
while, though.
Honestly.
You're welcome. Okay, let's dig in now. News Direct is where we're starting from. News Direct newspaper says Lagos Ibadan rail service, gunmen kidnap 4 NRC expatriates. Gunmen kidnap 4 NRC expatriates. It's really troubling. From there, let's go to the Nigerian pilot. The pilot says, invade Kebbi, bandits again. Invade Kebbi school, kill policeman, abduct 5 teachers. Unspecified number of students abducted. This is really troubling from when the story came out. All right, from there, let's go to the first news. First news says, ISWAP, Boko Haram set for fresh showdown as Modu succeeds Shekau. ISWAP, Boko Haram set for fresh showdown as Modu succeeds Shekau. All right, that's first news. Blueprint newspaper says, as Buhari orders crackdown on criminals, bandits storm peaceful Kebbi, abduct federal government college students and vice principal and others. Okay, this is what the Blueprint has. Daily Times, Buhari in Borno tasks security agencies on terrorism and others. Buhari in Borno tasks security agencies on terrorism and others. All right, Daily Trust is next. And Daily Trust says on press council bill, presidency reps set to ground newspapers, airing medium to pay 10 million naira and journalists to pay 250,000 naira. And MPO asks legislators to discard bill. It's a government baby, a House Committee chair is saying that, and don't infringe on press freedom. IPC and MRA, others are saying. Okay, that's a Daily Trust. From there, let's go to the Vanguard newspaper. Vanguard newspaper says, gunmen on rampage in Enugu, Kebbi, Ogun, abduct 40. How bandits used parents' bus to evacuate abducted Kebbi students, and police confirm students kidnapped were engaging local hunters to secure schools. Naptan is saying this. It's becoming a revolving chair. NUT is saying this. And gunmen abduct 4, kill policeman in Ogun. We're yet to be informed about the kidnap. The police is saying this, though. All right, that's the Vanguard. National Economy is next. National Economy says Nigerians bear the brunt as rising healthcare cost hits 10-year high. Nigerians bear the brunt as rising healthcare cost hits 10-year high. Okay. From there, let's go to the Leadership newspaper. Leadership says EFCC reopens corruption cases against governors and others. EFCC reopens corruption cases against ex-governors and others. Okay. All right, from there, let's go to the Punch newspaper. The Punch says NBA Oyo fault Buhari's grazing routes gazette. Land under state governor's control, not the president. They say the NBA and senior advocates of Nigeria. Western region created farm settlements, not cow routes. Makinde is saying this. Okay, that's still reaction to the grazing route issue. That's the Punch. From there, let's go to The Nation. The Nation newspaper is focusing on the EFCC. We recovered 6 billion naira, $261 million houses in 100 days. We recovered 6 billion naira, $241 million, as well as houses in 100 days. Rising cases of cybercrime worrisome. 1,502 Yahoo boys held in 6 months. Okay, these are all issues around corruption. From there, let's go to the Nigerian Tribune. Money laundering. EFCC eyes real estate, car, jewelry businesses. EFCC eyes real estate, car, jewelry businesses. Uncovers newly looted 6 billion naira from state government. Okay. All right, that's okay. I guess we'll be looking at this as we get along. The Guardian newspaper says Nigerian businesses shun IPOs, raise 3.09 trillion naira via commercial papers. Nigerian businesses shun IPOs, raise 3.09 trillion naira via commercial papers. Okay. Let's go to This Day newspaper. This Day says Buhari Maiduguri vows not to rest until peace is restored. Urges military to ramp up fight against insurgency. Okay, that's This Day newspaper. From there, let's go to Daily Sun. Bandits strike in Kebbi, abduct students, teachers, kill policeman, injure another at federal government college. We're on their trail. The police is revealing this. Okay. All right. Let's. All right. Those are the papers right now. We will be digging into the headlines soon with my guests. But let's go on a short break, and when we come back, over time for us to take a look at some of the details of the stories. Still. You're watching TVC Breakfast. We're looking at the papers and seeing what the headlines are. And in the studio is Sheson Kwade as well as Bayomi Okashawaju. Gentlemen, good to have you all in the studio once again.
Thank you.
Now, let's start from the story on This Day newspaper. Buhari Maiduguri vows not to rest until peace is restored. And he urges the military to ramp up fight against insurgency. Now, a lot of people gave commendation to the president for traveling to Maiduguri to look at things for himself. There has been, the call for him to go to the theater of war from time to time, a little more often, and he has done so. Let me start with you on that.
Okay. Yeah, I think in recent times, the president seems to be delighting us with some of his actions. I think that it appears he's beginning to respond positively to some of our criticisms, so to say, that we need a president that would engage us. And we saw that last week, at least on 2 different days, the president spoke to us via media chat. These are some of the things we've been asking for all this while, and they are not difficult things to achieve, but we wonder why we didn't get it all this while. But at least he's beginning to delight us. And to commend him now is not a problem. You see, everybody, even people in the opposition, they are commending him for doing what is right. It goes to show that there's no bad blood anywhere. It's not as if
anybody has a personal
thing against the president. All we just want is, let's get things right. Let's just do things the right way, and let's get the desired result. Going to Borno State and Maiduguri, to be precise, yesterday is another indication that yes, he is concerned about the security challenges that we have in this country, and it also sends a very strong signal to the troop on ground that the CEC cares. It shows them empathy. It shows that it's definitely going to motivate them and inspire them to do more. I'm also glad that he even paid a visit to the injured, the wounded, military men, in their base. And, as simple as gestures like this could be, one cannot quantify, the level at which it will, inspire and motivate these people and even reduce the security challenge. So for me, I think it's a good one for the president, and we want more of this.
Okay. Now, so the point there is, a lot of people have said, well, the president going to Maiduguri certainly he's not just going to see things and say hello and leave. There's going to be re-strategizing on some things. But what do you expect to see? What's going to be the difference now that the president has been to Maiduguri, the theater of war against terrorism?
First and foremost, I need to infer that the president's visit to Maiduguri yesterday, the kind of the welcome we got, I saw on social media the magnitude of people trooping out to welcome the president. And I asked myself the question, this is a state that we cried all the time of insecurity. Where are these people coming out from to welcome the president? But, well, is to tell us that we've said it times with our numbers that some of this insecurity happens in the ungoverning area of the state, the suburb, where they feel that there is no governance and they perpetrate their evil. But back to the question, some of the things we expect is that how can we nip this on the board? And I've always say that my problem is we don't address issue on time. We are never proactive about things, but very reactive. And the way some of this thing goes is like you allow a child to taste sugar that he has never tasted. You know, it's sweet. He goes, just take a leap, and nobody is cautioning. The guy will graduate to taking a cube of the sugar because it's sweet. And from there, he will take the whole pack one day and you start asking, what's going on? So this issue of banditry and the Boko, when it started, we didn't address it on time. So this guy, I've seen it as a business venture. There was a time I saw a video that went viral of a woman talking about the new business of the husband. And he said, my husband now does a new business. We are no longer sending, fura and the likes. But as soon as he mentioned it in Hausa, they cut it off. It's to tell you that this business has gone wild in such a way that everybody now sees it as a means of livelihood. And it's to tell us that it's not only a security aspect. Every other facet of it, health-wise, business-wise, we allow things to degenerate to the worst until we react. If we have nipped some of this thing by the bud, invite the people concerned, by now we will not be talking of it. Mike, the level of insecurity has actually made even every businessman to be at zero level. And I will always say this, until we have the complete cycle. It's a cycle. This cycle must complete. We can't break it, by the way. The cycle must complete. The only question is, I don't know whether the cycle will complete during this administration or it's going to extend. Because we've allowed all those people to have a leeway into some of these things, and they are enjoying it. Nobody is actually... Have you had any of these bandits or the Boko Haram been picked up and dealt with? No. So people are every day, look at Kebbi. Kebbi used to be a very peaceful state that nobody does anything there. And just yesterday, they've gone there to kidnap. You are telling us that you are building infrastructure. A round of applause for our government. We appreciate that. But the fact remains that we've been saying it. Build this infrastructure, how safe are we? Just on Lagos Ibadan yesterday, we read in the dailies that 4 expatriates were kidnapped and a security man was shot. These are people that have security details, monitoring them. How much more you and I that we just go on a leeway? So we've asked the government that we should try as much as possible. Whether you're going to empower the state government, and I've said it, enough of the state government rolling some of these things to the federal government. You are the CSO of the state. It's just like a man telling the household, I cannot fetch for you because federal government failed in their responsibility. You are the man of the house. You must put up strategy to make things work. So the state government should look at how they can nip things on the bud, collaborate with the federal government and make things happen so that we can have peace and prosperity can restore back to our nation.
All right. Now, the president being in fact, the last few years has been the fortification of the arsenal with military equipment and hardware from parts of the world. We are expecting the Super Tucanos, at least from the feelers we're getting and some of the reports we're getting. Some of them have been completed, some are being test flown to see, and then there's also the training of some Nigerian military and Nigerian Air Force to, man some of those things and all of that. Now, how much, because when the president is urging the military to ramp up the fight against insurgency, although this is not the first time we've heard the president say, well, you have to end this fight right now. But what makes this one a different one? Or do you see it as the same thing?
In the president's speech, he mentioned, in fact, almost every time that we've equipped our military men with the right, weapons to use. Then one will now wonder, I'm not a military person. I've never sat on the table where they design, the strategies to win a war. But of course, one will believe that you should go back and check your strategies again. Yes, you have given them weapons. Then, are you sure there is no leakage somewhere? Excuse me. Are you sure there is no saboteur activity somewhere? Because one thing is to give me a weapon to fight. Another thing is to leak my strategy to my opponent to know my weakness. And then when I'm about to attack, there's something else happen. So they need to now look inwards. President Muhammadu Buhari has always prided himself as a warlord. Of course, he fought, in the past. And we believe that he will be able now to put his, experience to test. And let us see. He should be able to now look inwards and see where the problem is. Is it that there are saboteur activities somewhere sabotaging the effort of the military, or there's something else we need to look into?
The former president, Goodluck Jonathan, even said that Boko Haram had infiltrated his government.
Of course.
And then just recently, we had the governor of Niger State said that there are,
So why is it difficult to weed out these people?
Officials are giving information. Even during State Executive Council meeting, messages are going out to bandits as to what is going on and what they're discussing and all of that. So when it comes to that fifth column list you're talking about, maybe they've been routed out of the system, we don't know. But
I'm not sure.
You are, the point you're making is carried. Okay, now we expect to see, ultimately what Nigerians want to see is let me just go to bed and sleep.
Honestly.
Wake up healthy and strong and do the business of my day.
And make money.
Pay my taxes and everybody is happy.
Honestly. And it's not too much to ask for.
Exactly. So that strategy and all of that, Nigerians leave it to government to complete. Now let's get to the story on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. He's talking about money laundering here. EFCC eyes real estate, car, jewelry, businesses, and uncovers newly looted 6 billion naira from state government. Okay, a lot has been going on in the last few days when it comes to EFCC, how they're recovering and how they're reaching out to people and so on. Sheso, talk to us about the renewed fight or seeming renewed fight against corruption.
Kudos to Bauer, very young, articulated, vibrant man. At least we are having one of the Sorosoki generation, taking position. But be that it may, I want us to go beyond identifying those people without bringing them to justice. This has been our problem. And most of the time, it's been traced to the judiciary, not doing what is needful about some of the cases ahead of them. We have advocated for special courts where some of these cases will be tried as soon as possible so that we can nip it at the bud. What we read this morning, we're talking of the current administration,
yes.
6 billion unfolded from state government. We don't want situation you will tell us on the face of the paper. Let's set them. We've asked situation where you bring them on air. Let people know. Let their children, daddy, so you are a thief. let their mates say, okay.
Name and shame.
Let the children know that, oh, your dad stole part of our wealth. And this will ring bell for, in as much as we look at the way we give credence to the likes of Awolowo, Zeke, of what they've done positively. Let's bring out some of those people. I don't know why we just come and say we have uncovered so much. We are not putting their names to world. Let the world know them. Don't let's do trial things. Bring them, let there be, they will give opportunity to media houses to hear some of these trials, and people will see. When you can't move on the street, your children will call you to order, your wife will call you to order. Enough of us coming to say, we have caught this, we've caught this. We must bring them to justice. We must allow people know them, so that when you walk, Some of them go as far as going into religious houses, being celebrated, and they don't know what they are doing. So we must bring them to bear. Let's sit them and know them, so that when we know some of those people, we will be able to dissociate, and the other people will deter from doing such things.
All right. Now, Abayomi, as we wrap up generally, under this administration, the perception of intolerance against corruption has been on, and people feel that under this administration, nobody, in fact, is so impossible to steal. Yes, the EFCC chairman was talking about a minister who paid for a house with about 20 million. Dollars.
Interestingly, Mike, our expectations from 2015 even till now has not been met, sincerely speaking. What we expected was that, even the body language of the president, of course, the integrity president, would, scare people away from, getting involved in corruption issue and all that. But of course, that's not what is obtainable at the moment. And in fact, it's as if it's getting, we have seen the worst as we speak today. And that's why I want to address the issue of moral values. What are the things that we place value on? Look at what we are talking about there. The issue of jewelries, real estate.
Cars.
People don't ask questions again. When you begin to give chieftaincy titles and honorary titles
even
to
special aids to government,
to some people who you cannot even trace their source of wealth, then you are sending signal to the younger generation that don't look at. In fact, don't care. We don't care about how you get the money. Just go and get the money, and we will place you on the pedestal that people will begin to see you as the Lord and all that. So we need to work on our moral values, and we need to begin to send the right signal to the younger generation.
All right. We look forward to that changing soon, with all the fight against corruption, and then creating jobs for people to be busy legitimately and stuff. Thank you so much, Abayomi Okashiwaju, for coming on the program.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Sheson Kwade, thank you very much for coming.
Pleasure always.
Thank you. Yeah. Right. You're watching TVC Breakfast. We go on a break, and shortly after then will be time for the business segment with David.